Well, everybody, it's been a while since I've done my Boise Media Collection for 2025 edition, part 10. And now, let's get on to part 11. So, anyways, no time to waste. Let's begin. As always, starting with the clamshells, the 3-cup box, and the rest are slipcovers and a couple of case lists. So, anyways, let's begin now. Guts tape from Savers back in March of 2018. I think the print date is March 1st, 2004. So printed 5 days before my second birthday of that year. And the rest are cut box, which I'm about to show 3, so yep. Found this tape at the NAC thrift store back in April 2017. October 29th, 1997. And printed the 43rd week of 1997. I think I got this tape from Goodwill back in December of 2015, which I had since 2 days after Christmas of that year. August 9th, 1999. And last cut box before the rest are slipcovers and caseless. And yes, this is the tape that I gotten since December of 2016, which I got from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Meridian while I volunteer there. November 8th, 1999. And that's it for the clamshell and 3-cup box that I'm about to show for this video. And now the rest are slipcovers and a couple of case lists. So anyways, here we go. No print date or week and year code on this tape because it's a Random House tape. And I think I found this tape at the Vets for Success thrift store back in March of 2018 before it closed down sometime in the future. Found this tape at the NAC thrift store back in April of 2017. June 18th, 1999. This is the tape that I have for a very long time, which I had since Christmas of 2011. And this is the only Max and Ruby tape that I ever owned since then. January 27th, 2005. And the 4th week of 2005. Found tape at Goodwill in Nampa back in October 2018. Which is a pretty cool find, if I say so myself. December 27th, 2001, and January 4th, 2002. Needs a rewatch soon. Found tape at Goodwill back in. Or no. I think I found this tape at the NAC thrift store back in 2017. October 12th, 1995. And of course, this movie's directed by the late Robert Redford. Okay. Seen this movie once back in 2021. It was pretty good in my opinion. And of course, I found this tape at the youth ranch back in June of 2018. June 16th and June 20th, 1992. And oh, here it is. Printed the 25th week of 1992. I think I found this tape last year when Archie brought a box of VHS tapes. And speaking of Archie, we're gonna, Jasmine and Archie's gonna get married next week, which is pretty excited too. But anyways, back to the video. No print on this tape because it's a good times tape. And since it's a good times tape, we already know we'll have it at the end. Found this tape at a Goodwill back in June of 2017. January 10th, 1993. And the first week of 1993. Found this tape at a yard sale back in June of 2017. And recycled tape, of course. March 17th, 1988, and June 2nd, 1992. The recycled week, the week in your code regular is the 23rd week of 1992. If y'all could see it. And here it is. Okay. Nana just found this tape right here, which I've watched it before last December. It was a good TV movie, if I say so myself. November 14th, 1996. And the week in year code's the 47th week of 1996. Found tape at Savers back in July of this year. February 18th, 1995, I think. And the 7th week of 1995. Haven't seen this movie yet, but I've seen bits and pieces to this movie, but it needs a rewatch entirely soon. 2004 reprint of this tape. February 8th, 2004. So this is a reprint, as you can all see. I believe I've seen those tapes before, but try again, so yep. This and the other tape, which I'm about to show in a couple minutes, which I found last year, back in April 2024. June 17th, 1998. And the 25th week of 1998. Classic 1969 Western. And the remake from 2010 is excellent, in my opinion, so, yep. Found this tape at Vets for Success store back in June 2017. And I found a rare tape, if I say so myself. May 18th, 2005. And the week in year code's the 20th week of 2005. So this is a rare 2005 VHS of this tape right here. Found this tape at Savers back in June of 2022 while I visited Boise for a few days. November 3rd, 1999. And the 44th week of 1999. Nana gave this tape to me back in December of 2017. Just shipped it. So, yep. Or no. I got this tape back in January 2018 when Nana gave this tape to me. December 30th, 1992. And the week and year code's the 52nd week of 1992. Haven't seen this movie yet recently, but I will soon, so yep. June 3rd, 2003. Found this tape at Savers back in June of 2022, which I got the same time as South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, the 1999 VHS. July 30th, 1996. And the 30th week of 1996. I think I found this tape at Savers back in September of last year, when I used to have the tape back in July of 2017 from the St. Vincent Paul thrift store in Clarkston. It broke, so I have to replace this tape for that. And of course, this is a reprint. October 16th, 1998. But still have the Cheese Show logo. The Cheese Show War Home Video logo from 1986 at the beginning of the tape. But at least I found this tape while I reorganizing my other room. August 5th, 2001. Classic movie right here from 1982. And I found this tape from Goodwill back in December of 2016. October 3rd, 1996. Found this tape last year while Archie brought some tapes for me to keep. And of course, I watched this movie last year as well. March 31st, 2000. Definitely a classic right here from 1983, from 1965, that won Best Picture. And of course, I found this tape from Goodwill back in July of 2016, which I had for 9 years. Both print dates are July 28th, 1994, and both week and year codes are the 30th week of 1994. Found this tape from Goodwill back in October of 2018. February 11th, 2004, and the 6th week of 2004. Needs a rewatch soon, so yep. And of course, I had this tape since May of 2016 that I got from Goodwill. Or I think I found this tape back in April of 2016, which I got from Goodwill. So, my mistake on that. December 8th, 1994. Found this tape at a yard sale back in June of 2017. October 24th, 1992, so printed a week before Halloween of that year. I think I found this tape at Goodwill back in July of 2019. March 6, 2000, so printed 2 years before I was born, and printed my birthday of that year. And printed the 10th week of 2000. July 14th, 2000. I think I found this tape at Goodwill back in October 2016. And I used to have another copy back in July of 2016, but I gave it away, so I replaced this tape back in July of this year. So, yep. July 3rd, 1998, so printed the day before the 4th of July of that year. I think I found this tape at a youth ranch last year, back in April. And this is a reprint, which is June 20th, 2003. Found tape at Goodwill back in June of 2017. November 3rd, 2001, so printed 3 days after Halloween of that year. Got tape from Savers back in, I think, March of 2023, if I remember correctly. May 28th, 1996. Had tape since August of 2015. May 15th, 2002, and the 20th week of 2002. Which this and the other tape that I'm about to show in a couple minutes, which I got from my late Aunt Marlene. So, yep. Got tape from Goodwill back in May of 2017. The wheels are extremely yellow on this tape, but hopefully the rest of the tape still plays. February 22nd, 2001. Haven't seen this movie yet, unfortunately, but I found this tape at Savers back in April of last year. (2002) reprint, June 26th and July 2nd, 2002. Six more tapes for this video, and then we'll stop here for tonight. Found this tape at the NAC thrift store back in June of 2017. April 1st, 2002, and the 14th week of 2002. Yep. This and Orange County that I got both from my late Aunt Marlene. This, which I had for a very long time, which I had since 2011, and the other tape, which I've already mentioned, August of 2015, or July of 2015, which I had it for a long time. The print date underneath the sticker is March 22nd, 1994. Needs a rewatch soon, so yep. December 1st, 1994, and the 49th week of 1994. Found this tape at Goodwill back in September of 2017, and the paper which I had since March of 2017. February 4th, 1996. Found this tape at the Vets for Success back in April of 2017. Paramount Pictures movie. This is also co-made by Miramax as well. May 18th, 2000, and the 20th week of 2000. And finally, here's the last tape. Needs a rewatch soon, entirely. January 21st, 1987. And the week and year code is blank 74. Well, everybody, there you have it for my Boise Media Collection for 2025 edition, Part 11. Stay tuned for Part 12 coming up soon in the future. So, anyways, this is Superman Me 2002. Hope you have a fun rest of your night, and see you all in the morning. So, yep.